This is Market Your Business Like a Pro podcast, episode 31.
Welcome to the Market Your Business Like a Pro podcast with Ken Countess. Ken is an internationally recognized marketing expert. This podcast will give you tips on how to market your business more effectively than ever before to help you make more money, whether you're just starting out or have been in business for years. And now, here's Ken Countess.
Okay, welcome to episode 31 of the Market Your Business Like a Pro podcast. I'm Ken Countess, and this week I'm going to talk about something we do all the time. Sometimes we do it without even realizing that we're doing it, and it has to do with search. I'm talking about the search that we do online, and more often now that we're doing on our phones too. So maybe about 10 years ago, we would say we were Googling something. We would say we were Googling something. We never really said we were Binging something when we were looking for something on Bing, which is Microsoft's search engine. In the vernacular, we talk about Google, almost the way we talk about a Kleenex. We're going to Google something. And more, we're doing that search verbally, and we're getting results that we're looking for faster and faster, but the nature of the way we do search has really changed a lot. So that's what I want to focus on this time around. In this episode, I'm going to talk about our search behavior and how it's evolving, and expectations for search. And a lot of what I'm going to refer to in this episode is based on research that was done by Google. In fact, if you want to take the time to do the research I've been doing, go to Google's Think with Google landing pages and check what they have to offer. I'm going to summarize a lot of that for you during this episode. A couple of years ago, maybe a little bit more than that at this point, Google introduced this concept that they called micro moments. They put a name to a behavior that, thanks to mobile and our addiction to smartphones, really was becoming pervasive. This behavior is that we've begun to expect an immediate answer in a specific moment, when we want to know something, when we want to go do something, when we want to buy something. And so I'll refer to micro moments quite a lot over these next few minutes that we're together. What micro moments do is they really help us think about how we as business owners and how as marketers we need to behave differently. We have an audience we're trying to market to, and they have a certain behavior. And so this is kind of reverse engineering, where we're understanding how we're doing searches ourselves, and now we have to adapt our business models in order to accommodate what our consumers are doing. We no longer really can push how we want people to look for us. Rather, they're looking for us in ways that we really hadn't thought of before. So let me jump into it. Consumer behaviors have really upped the ante on the way people do business. These micro moments, again, as Google calls them, are really accelerating consumer expectations for right here, right now experiences. We are taking for granted that information really now is at our fingertips more than ever before. Those behaviors and those experiences to be tailored to our specific needs. But here's the thing about human nature. We never stop wanting that little bit extra. What's happening with search is that things keep raising the bar. We want more useful information. We want it more personalized, and we want it right now. So Google calls it the well-advised consumer. So think about the last time you used your phone. You wanted to find an answer, or you wanted to guide a decision. And for some of us, this may be about something big, like buying a car that you've been hoping to buy, or maybe some big trip that you've been planning. But for many of us, it may be some more mundane stuff like toothbrushes and knobs for cabinets, or best home remedies, or how to do this or that. And what's really interesting is that more and more we're using the word best in our searches. In fact, what Google has found, and this is out of a study that they've done, that mobile searches for things that include the word best have grown 80% in the last 2 years. And it's not just for weighty topics. We turn to our phones for information on just about everything. So, for example, Google found toothbrush searches have grown more than 80% on mobile, and searches for best toothbrush have grown more than 100% on mobile just over the last few years. Imagine that. Before mobile, doing that research may have taken a little more effort than we care to expend, but now it's easy and it's fast, so we can be confident in just about any decision we're making, big or small. Think about your behaviors. Many of us have something from Amazon called Alexa, or we talk to Alexa, and if you have a Google device, it's Google Home. I know that here around our household, if we misplace our phones, we say, "Hey Google, call my phone." And Google rings the phone and we find the phone. Or it may be, "Hey Google," or "Hey Alexa, what's the weather going to be today?" And we get that immediate response. It's just so much easier than going to your PC and typing in "what's today's weather." So we're using voice and voice recognition much more often and far more effectively than we ever have before. In turn, sharpened up searches. So if you're a marketer, let me go through, bear with me for a few minutes here, and let me explain to you how things are evolving, and then you can apply some of this information to your own business. We talk about the right here consumer. People today, you and me, we are expecting digital experiences to be made just for us, including experiences that are tailored to where we are right now. A few years ago, we might have been able to do this. It took a lot more effort, using explicit clues that people gave us. So, for example, if somebody wanted to find an Italian restaurant nearby, their search query might have included the zip code or the name of the area or even "near me." But today people expect brands to sort of show up automatically. Compared to just about a year ago, smartphone users are more likely to purchase from companies whose mobile sites or apps customize information to their location. Compared to just a year ago, once again, smartphone users are significantly more likely to purchase from companies whose mobile sites or apps customize information to their location. When you're carrying around your smartphone or tablet, the systems know where you are, so the information can be customized to your location. In fact, today, people just assume, you and I just assume that our smartphones know where we are and will deliver that relevant information accordingly. So if you are a location-based business of any sort, make sure that your website is responsive to the fact that when searches are done, something around your zip code may have a huge impact on how you show up. So think about it this way. Have you ever needed a restaurant reservation at the last minute? Maybe a hotel room, or maybe a drugstore. We're turning to our mobile devices more than any other source to help us get things done, to help us make decisions, or to make purchases. And every day, we're becoming more and more reliant on our smartphones to help make last-minute purchases or spur-of-the-moment decisions. In fact, smartphone users are 50% more likely to expect to purchase something immediately while using their smartphone compared to just about a year ago. And once again, this is Google data. I've found a lot of this stuff from the Google site and Think with Google. So if you have the time, take advantage of it, or just keep listening to this podcast. Hey, consumer shifts are an inevitability that we can all plan for. Expectations are just going to continue to rise. People want to be informed, and have more personal experiences and get things done even faster than ever. And as our own expectations ratchet up, well, then so do the requirements, and of course then so do the opportunities for all of us as marketers. So let me talk a little bit more about micro moments, and these are consumer behaviors that you need to know. So let's talk about it this way. As micro moments multiply, our expectations as consumers continue to, and new behaviors are evolving. Our behaviors are very different than they were just 5 years ago. Who 5 years ago thought to speak a command into a smartphone to go find something? Once again, maybe that's a restaurant, maybe it's a movie, whatever it might be. More than ever, we're turning to our smartphones for advice and with an expectation that we'll find what we need right here, right now. So people are turning to their phones across a wide range of topics, and they research anything they want, from home loans, toothbrushes, doesn't matter what the category is or the price. Mobile searches, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, it's worth repeating, that mobile searches for something with the word best have grown over 80% over the last 2 years. And searches for best shown higher growth among low consideration products than high consideration products over the last couple of years. As an example, mobile searches for the term best toothbrush have grown over 100% over the past 2 years. Now think about it this way. Let's say you're in your local pharmacy, a Walgreens, a CVS, a Target, wherever you may be shopping, Walmart, and you're walking down the aisle and you've got this wide array of toothbrushes, and you don't know which one you should pick. I mean, there's dozens, maybe hundreds of them in some stores. So you pick out your phone and you speak into it and you say, "Hey Google, what's the best toothbrush?" That's how we're using search today. Hey, by the way, a little fun fact, there were more than 100,000 unique searches for the word toothbrush in 1 year. That's data from June of last year. And hey, here's another fun fact for you. In the past 2 years, we've seen, and this is Google, that Google has seen more than a 60% increase in searches for best deodorant. In the past couple of years, Google saw more than a 140% increase in searches for the best umbrella. In the past couple of years, mobile searches for product reviews have grown over 35%. In the past couple of years, videos with the word review in the title had more than 50,000 years worth of watch time on mobile alone. Mobile searches for toothbrush reviews have more than doubled over the last couple of years. Nearly a third of all mobile searches are related to location. Over the last couple of years, searches for local places without the qualifier "near me" have grown 150%, faster than comparable searches that do not include the phrase "near me." Once again, this is info from Google. So what does that tell you? It says that Google is doing a pretty good job of tracking the things that we're looking for with certain phrases and without certain phrases. And more and better results from searches are occurring. Nearly 2/3 of smartphone users are more likely to purchase from companies whose mobile sites or apps customize information to their location. Overall, restaurant-related searches have grown by double digits in the last couple. Zip code have declined over 30%. Think about that for a minute. That says intelligence on where we are and what we're looking for is getting better and better and better. Searches for, is it going to rain today, have grown more than 85% over the last couple of years. Searches for, what's the weather today, have grown over 160% over the last couple of years. Think about when you ask Alexa what the weather is, or Google Home, what's the weather? The radio station I listen to from time to time in the Orlando area does their weather report in the mornings with someone saying, "Hey Google, what's the weather going to be today?" And they play back the Google search results, and then they may supplement it with other information. So more and more these mobile voice searches are becoming pervasive in our lives and changing our behaviors. Compared to a couple of years ago, smartphone users are 50% more likely to purchase something immediately while using their smartphones. Does it sound like you? 3 in 4 smartphone owners turn to search first to address their immediate needs. And search interest in places that are open now has tripled in the last 2 years. Mobile searches related to same-day shipping have grown over 120% over the last 3 years. Travel-related searches for tonight and today have grown over 150% on mobile over the last couple of years. 53% of visits abandoned if the mobile site takes longer than 3 seconds to load. So that's all about search, and particularly mobile search and voice-oriented search. This is what we're doing today. So as marketers, if you're looking to market your business like a pro, make sure that your website, that your marketing material are responsive to the people who are looking to do business with businesses like yours when they're looking for you on their smartphone or a mobile device. So that's it for this week's episode. I hope you gained some knowledge out of it. I hope you found it fun and informative. I certainly had fun doing the research on it. And once again, I want to credit Google and the Think with Google campaign for giving us all some additional insights on this notion of micro moments. So thanks for joining me this week. This is episode 31.